In this video, we will take a look at multiplying a non-unit fraction by a whole number using a number line. This standard extends students' work with multiplication from earlier grades. In fourth grade, students multiplied unit fractions by whole numbers, and they worked to recognize that non-unit fractions, such as 3/7, can be represented as three parts that are each 1/7, or 3 times 1/7. Visual fraction models should be created and used by students during their work with this standard. Before beginning to solve, let's think about a reasonable solution so that when we have our answer, we can make sure that it makes sense. Here we see that we have 2/3 times 4. This means that we are going to have 2/3 4 times, or 4 groups of 2/3. I know that 2/3 is close to 1 whole, and if this was 1 times 4, our product would be 4. So I could reason that the answer will be close to 4, but less than 4. To begin to solve using the number line, I will first draw an open number line. And I'm going to start my number line at 0. What I know I need to show is 2/3 4 times. So I'm going to go ahead and start with a jump of 2/3. And I know that 0 plus 2/3 is 2/3. Now I'm going to show another jump of 2/3. And I know that 2/3 plus 2/3 would be 4/3. Before we continue, we may want to stop and think about what 4/3 is equivalent to as a mixed number to help us determine the product in the end. To do that, I know that if I break down this jump of 2/3 that I just made into jumps of 1/3 and then another third, I could more easily see what the mixed number would be. I know that 2/3 plus 1/3 would be 3/3, which is 1 whole. And then I know that jumping the other third would give me 4/3, and I can see now that that means 4/3 is 1 and 1/3. So just by breaking down that jump of 2/3 into two jumps of 1/3, it can help me see that 4/3 is equivalent to 1 and 1/3. Some students may not need to break it down like that, but that is an option, of course. So let's make another jump of 2/3, because we know we need 2/3 4 times. So now 4/3 plus 2/3 would be 6/3. And I know that 1 and 1/3 plus 2/3 would be 1 and 3/3, or 2 wholes. So now I've shown 2/3 3 times. I know I need 2/3 4 times though based on that expression. So I'm going to jump another 2/3. I know that 6/3 plus 2/3 is 8/3. And I know that 2 plus 2/3 is 2 and 2/3. And so from here I can see that 2/3 times 4 is equivalent to 8/3, which is also equal to 2 and 2/3. Another way that some students may choose to represent this on the number line or solve this on the number line would be to begin with their open number line, but rather than starting at 0, they may choose to start at 2/3. And by doing that, they are showing that they already have one group of 2/3. So this expression 2/3 times 4 lets us know that we need 2/3 4 times. By beginning the number line at 2/3, we're already working with one group of 2/3, and we would just add on from there. So I have 2/3, so I'll make a jump of 2/3, and I would be at 4/3, which we know from our previous work there is 1 and 1/3. Then I would make another jump of 2/3, which would be 6/3, or 2 wholes. And now let's just stop and think about how many groups of 2/3 we have so far. Here is one group of 2/3. We began our number line at 2/3 already, so that's one group. Here's another group of 2/3. We have 2/3 twice, and here it is again. So we have 2/3 3 times so far, but we know we need 2/3 4 times. So I'll need to make another jump of 2/3, and that would be 8/3, or 2 2/3. So you see we get the same product using either strategy. And so the last thing we want to do is just think about the reasonableness of this solution. Before we started to solve, we said we recognized that 2/3 was close to 1 whole, but less than 1 whole, and that 1 times 4 would be 4. So if we were going to multiply 4 times a number a little less than 1, we would expect the product to be a little less than 4. And 2 2/3 is close to 4, but less than 4. So we know that's reasonable. And so this is how we can multiply a non-unit fraction by a whole number using a number line.